The first question comes from a friend of mine named Scott Golfany, and he asked a question that I think is an excellent starting question for this whole topic. He said, what in the heck even is the purpose of emotions? What is the purpose of emotions? It's a great question. I mean, we all have emotions. We know when we're feeling them, most of us. Sometimes they're subtle, sometimes they're overwhelming. It seems like it's a natural part of being human. But why? Why do we have them? Right? If you believe that there's a creator who created us purposefully, then our emotions must have a purposeful place in our creation. If you're not sure about the idea of there being a creator, if you believe that we have come to be how we are through selection, through natural selection, well, even then, emotions must have a purpose, because if they didn't have a purpose, if they weren't helpful for the propagation of the species, then emotions would have been selected out a long time ago in human development. But we have them. They're present, they're often overwhelming. And so whether you think that we were made and wired up by God with a purpose, or you think that we came to be how we are through natural selection, in either case, emotions have to have a core purpose. And yet that can be a struggle. It can be frustrating. I remember one time I was sitting in my pastoral office with a woman who was really having a hard time, and I was counseling with her, and she was in deep emotional overwhelm from some trauma she was facing. And she said in the office, she said, wouldn't it be just so much easier if we could just turn our emotions off? Have you felt that way? I have. I felt that way, wanting to turn my emotions off because they were just too overwhelming or too much in the way or too much trouble. Well, see, as much of a pain or obstacle or difficulty that emotions can be, we have them for a reason. They are a core part of how we were made. And so Scott's question, what's the purpose of emotion? I'm going to answer it by telling you two. I think that emotions have two essential core purposes that are necessary for your life, for your health, for your wellness, for your development. First off, emotions exist to tell us the truth. Sit with that for a minute. I know it sounds kind of weird, maybe kind of crazy, maybe counterintuitive, but I think your emotions always tell you the truth. I just think that sometimes the truth your emotions are telling you isn't what you expect, or isn't what you think it is, and you need to dig deeper. You see, emotions exist to communicate important messages from our deepest places. Some people have said that emotions are shallow or superficial or transitory. That's not true. Emotions come from deep within. That's their job, to emerge from within and tell us something important about our inner world or about our outer circumstances. I think of emotions like the check engine light on a car dashboard. You know, you're driving along and there on the dashboard, just to the left of the speedometer, there's that little engine icon. And sometimes it lights up red, and that always, you know, causes stress for me and makes me feel like I'm about to spend a lot of money at the mechanic shop. Well, that lights up, that red light shines to tell me something important about something that's going on under the hood. Now, I may not understand what it means. I may misinterpret that light, or I may ignore that light, or because it bothers me, I may just, put tape over it so I can't see it. But the light is there to give me information. So that is the first purpose of emotions, to give you truthful information from deep within you. Now, that's not the only purpose. These two things happen simultaneously. The second purpose of emotions is to move us, to get us to take action. The Latin root word from which we get the word emotion literally just means movement, means motion. And energy always is attached to our emotions. This is why they feel so wonderful, and this is why they can be so overwhelming, because it's not just that we feel something, it's that feeling comes with motive energy. Motive, that means getting us to move, getting us to take action, getting us to do something. So here's an example. Anger, that's an emotion we feel, right? You've had anger sometime recently. I've felt it sometime recently. So anger is the emotion you feel when you believe in your own private logic that you or someone you love or something you care about has been violated. I'm going to say that again. Anger is the emotion you feel when you believe in your own private logic that you or someone you love or something you love has been violated. That's the core message. That's the truth that anger is trying to communicate to you. Hey, something is threatening us. Something is violating or obstructing our will. Pay attention. We need to do something about it. But that message comes with anger. I mean, energy. That anger message comes with energy. You know that. You felt it, right? You've felt that when you've gotten so angry, you just have to do something, right? Maybe it's slam the phone. Well, I guess we don't slam phones anymore because that breaks the expensive screen. So we can't do that. Slam the car door, or, in younger days, punch your fist through the wall, or yell, or do something. Like, you feel this energy to do something. That energy is a part of the emotion. That energy is meant to get you to take action. And with anger, if the message of anger is you or someone you love is being violated, the motion of the energy is to get you to stop the threat, to stand up and take action to stop the threat. All right, now, here is why it matters that we grow emotionally. This is why it matters that we mature emotionally. If emotions communicate truth to us, but we can mishear it or misunderstand it or miss the message altogether, then maturing emotionally allows us to begin to more wisely understand the messages our emotions are communicating to us. If we fail to mature emotionally, then we will continue to mishear or misunderstand or miss the message our emotions are carrying. All right, so that's the first reason. The second reason, though, is that if emotions come with this energy, and that energy is meant to get us to take action, we need to mature emotionally, because if we don't, we're going to react. We're going to use that emotional energy to react in ways that are not helpful, that are short-sighted, that are not life-giving, that are not loving, that are not in keeping with the life we believe that God's called us to live. And so we need to mature emotionally so that we grow in our capacity to use that emotional energy in positive and life-giving ways. Emotions exist to communicate information to us, important information about our inner world and outer circumstances. And emotions exist to move us, to get us to take action. And we need to grow emotionally. We need to mature emotionally so that we can understand the messages our emotions are communicating well, and so that we can choose action that is life-giving rather than reacting in ways that are destructive. So, Scott, there's the answer to your question. Why do we even have emotions? To tell us important information about our inner life and outer circumstances, and to get us to take action so that we can deal with the situation that we're facing. Now, if you find this helpful and you want to understand your emotions better, or you want to grow in your ability to listen to them so you can hear that wise truth, or you want to mature in your ability to use that emotional energy so that you're not reacting, but are choosing actions that are life-giving, well, then one thing you can do is pick up my book, The Wisdom of Your Heart, Discovering the God-Given Purpose and Power of Your Emotions, wherever fine books are sold. But also, coming soon, just 3 weeks, is the brand new audiobook featuring my actual voice in a better condition than it is today, congested. My actual voice reading this actual book in an actual audiobook that you'll be able to get from audible.com in just 3 weeks. Now, if you want to be reminded of that when it comes out so you don't forget it, the very best way to do that is to head over to my website. I will put a link in the comments and I'll spell it out for you here in a minute, and subscribe to my email list. I send out emails about twice a month. Those emails contain links to my latest blog post about intentional spiritual growth, my latest podcast episode. I have a podcast called The Apprenticeship Way, which is about growing and maturing your inner life. And so I'll put links to my latest episodes, and oftentimes I'll include links to other things that I think will be helpful in your spiritual journey. So just head over to my website, www.marc, M-A-R-C, Allen, A-L-A-N, Schelske, SCHELSKE.com, and you'll see a subscription form there on the bottom of every post. So just subscribe, and I won't spam you, I won't sell your information, but I will send you a note to remind you when the audio book comes out. Well, that's about 15 minutes, so that's enough for today. I'm going to definitely do another one of these next week, and I may do another one yet this week because I have more questions coming in. But thank you for taking this time to hang out with me. If you have a question about emotions and faith, leave it in the comments on this video, or private message me or email me, connect with me in whatever way you have, and ask me the question, and I'll be happy to address it in Facebook Live like this. All right? Until next time, don't forget, you are loved. You are known. You are not alone. Later.